Hey y'all, so this is a little quick little write up that I'm doing to show because I notice a lot of people feel some type of way when they hear so-called Black Americans saying that North America is the blueprint, but it actually is, and people take that in a way that to try to make it like North Americans is trying to say we're better than everyone else, but it's not the case of being superior. It's the case of we're literally the blueprint, literally. So I was drawing this out. So I don't know if y'all seen my videos earlier where I was talking about earlier this year when I was talking about the different world programs and how America North is world one and Africa is world three or the third world. So anyway, I'm in that from the sense of created worlds. So let's say this is America, okay? This is North America. Let's say this is Mexico, Central America, and this is South America. And over here, let's say this is Africa. So North America would be world one, and this is considered heaven. That's why you have it's considered the realm of An. This is the realm of the living soul, right? The living spirit, living soul. It also represents the mind, the soul, and the brain, right, of the body. So then you got to look at things from the perspective of ascending and descending. So like in Nana's descending to the underworld or the lower realms. Okay. So first you gotta think about the fact that we all in all the world programs, we're all avatars. So this is the avatars of the living soul beings, right? So let's say that they don't ascend. Let's say for some reason they do something where they have to descend. When they descend, they'll go down into the Aru, and this is how this is the waters of Aru right here, Aru, and this is the realm here, which would be like Mexico and going into the Caribbean and Central America. That will be the Ak in ancient Egyptian, the Ak territory or the transfigured spirit. So for the living spirit who descends down, has to take the journey through the Duat, passes into Aru, becomes the Aruak or Arawak. So that's the transfigured spirits. Now, for some reason, they don't ascend and they have to descend to a lower realm. They're going to descend to South America, and this is where they will become a earthbound spirit. So you can't go lower in the earth than here, right? So they will be earthbound from here. The only way you can go is up if you ascend, but if you don't ascend, you just stuck earthbound, right? Back up here to the Ak territory, which is, like I say, starting on the Mexican side of the Gulf of Mexico and going to the Caribbean and Central America. That's the neck and shoulder of the body, right? It's the neck and shoulder. All right. So this is the lower body, and that's the realm of the earthbound spirit. This is where the soul would decay at the end of the soul's journey. This is where the Egyptians will talk about if you don't pass the test. You know what I'm saying? And have to basically like when the Bible talk about the second debt. The second debt is what happen is where you go to if you descend from here. So if you fail earthbound, you go to the place of the second debt. So the place of the second debt is Africa, South, right? You go to Africa, that's the first place. So Africa is a clone continent. It is a continent clone based off of the Americas. So once you are here, you're pretty much there. And this territory is not even a real. This is mean you're literally dead, dead. You're not just dead. Cause see over here, you're like so. This is a like the living. This is like when you're in purgatory, and this is like when you're dead. But once you go over here, you dead, dead. So over here, the avatars of the avatar beings over here represent the dead, you know. So these are the the people were created in the image and likeness of the people in world 1 and 2, or the Americas. So the people over here in Africa were created or cloned from the genetic database of the people over here. So they will be closer to the mother or the parent of the Africans. South America will be more so the parent of the African, whereas North America will be the parent of South America. Okay. Now, so you have the people in the deep South Africa will be the genetic database clone of the people of South America. If you the people over here in Central Africa will be the genetic database central to North Central. Africans will be the genetic database clones of the people of the Caribbean and Mexico, right? And then you'll have at the northernmost part of Africa, you will have the clone of Akasha, right? So that's basically, this is just the database, the library, the museum. If you think in computer terms, this is the drive, the OneDrive, the library. This is where all the history, the database, that kind of information, the museums, the libraries is made based on these people over here and these people over here, but mostly these people over here in North America. So the history, ancient history that they have of have in North Africa, like the Egyptian pyramids, the things relative to the Moors, like Morocco and stuff. All of that is really avatar or copy, disc copy of the information that belongs to these people over here. So Africa is a clone continent of the Americas, right? Whereas North America is here, and you go into the realm of the spirit, the living spirit right here, and then down here is the earthbound spirit. So this is where you go into the inversion of each other. So this is like the other side of the coin. So North America, flip side or inverted side, will be over here. So this will be like the sepia tone versus the blue. So this is the blueprint. And when you invert that, it's a sepia tone. So it's over here. You think of the word sepia is like SEPIA. The last two letters will be Ea. This is Ea territory, the waters of Ea. And Sip, Seep, Sip, Ship, Zeb, you know what I'm saying? Sheba, the underworld. All right. And so let's get back to Africa. Africa is named after the Egyptian Afu Raka. And Afu Raka is the disk of the dead sun, or the solar disk of the dead, the dead. The Afu Raka is the disk of the dead sun. North Africa is like a digit or digitized clone copy of the database of North America. This is why you have in Egypt the DGT type of lettering, as opposed to in the living realm it would be TCH, ch. That'd be chat versus digit. So North America will be the real voice, the chat, the chatter, the chatter, chapta, versus the digit, the digitized realm, right? And South Africa is a cloned and edited version of the genetic database of the people of the Americas. So that's what's really going on. And so when you hear people say America is the blueprint, they get mad, but America literally is the blueprint. Literally. Because Africa is the clone of everything about the Americas. You know what I'm saying? And it even comes down to the color blue. The color blue. So World One, North America, has the galactic or universal starry blue and royal blue. That's their color. That's the blue. That's their blue. And when you cross over to the Caribbean and Central America, you have the royal blue and then descending into sky blue, right? And then when you get to South America, you have the sky blue, which then goes into blue green and then goes into green, right? Soylent green, which becomes the food of the gods, right? Soylent green. So whereas in Africa World 3, you'll notice that their colors in the north, in the north we have red, white, and blue. With our water is white gold, white gold. Caribbean water is the yellow gold, right? World 3 Africa, you have in the north, they would, because they're a clone of the Americas, and America is red, white, and blue, but they can't have blue because by them being a clone, they don't have origins from the galaxy. They don't have origins from the stars. You know what I'm saying? So their colors is red, white, and black. Black being the dead color, right? Black being the dead color. So they have red, white, and black in the north. That's why the Egyptian flag is based on the Egyptian flag is the red, white, and black version of the Louisiana flag. It's the colors of the American flag minus the black, minus the blue, including the black, but it's like the Louisiana symbolism. And then you have the colors green, yellow versus what, like we have the white gold and the yellow gold water. They have the yellow and white. They have yellow and white. Yellow more down south, white more up north. So their colors is like green, black, yellow, black, yellow, green, and black, red, and green. But you're not gonna find too much blue on that continent. You're not gonna find much blue because this is the blueprint. This is the blueprint, and the blue, as you pass through the waters, it gets watered down. So the blue goes from deep indigo, star blue to royal blue to sky blue to blue green. This is the blueprint, literally.